Welcome to week 3. We are the NFL Trio, and we've got a Thursday night football matchup we're going to start our week off with. The Steelers at the Browns. Who do you got?
For me, I'm going with the Pittsburgh Steelers. How about you?
I'm actually going with the Cleveland Browns on this one.
Interesting.
You know, I really like how Nick Chubb's been moving the ball. I like how Jacoby Brissett really cleaned up his act in week 2.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, if you look at the receiving room, you've got Amari Cooper, you've got Peoples-Jones. Like, you're doing okay. I'm a little worried about the Browns secondary, but I'm not horribly concerned yet.
That's fair. For me, right now, I'm just feeling like, even though, here's the thing, I've picked the Browns multiple times now. They've disappointed me this year. So that obviously puts a bitter taste in my mouth. But I also just feel like Pittsburgh, even missing TJ Watt, even with the struggles they had offensively last week, I think their offense can do enough against Cleveland, especially now that Jadeveon Clowney's out. Really, they're not going to get as much pressure. Trubisky's going to have more time in the pocket to make decisions. And like you said, their secondary has been a bit lackluster. Now, to be fair, so was Pittsburgh's last week against the Patriots. But I don't feel like the Cleveland passing game is as fine-tuned as that. And also, Pittsburgh, even without TJ Watt, still have one of the best defenses in the league. So,
But, you know, even without Jadeveon Clowney, so do the Browns. With Myles Garrett, they've got Sione Takitaki. Like, it's going to be a good defense. And whenever these AFC North teams meet up, it's a slugfest. It's one in the trenches. So for me, do you prefer Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt or Najee Harris? And I have to give the edge to Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I think that's just – they've got a slight edge. They've put up more production over the past few years. Don't get me wrong, Najee Harris is good. But Nick Chubb, he's just been on fire.
Yeah, well, also for me, I'm kind of just looking at the other teams that these teams have faced. And you're looking at Cleveland, who just came off of one against the Jets. You know, kind of a bottom of the league team last year.
But they put up points against the Jets.
That is true. But you also look at Pittsburgh, who, came short to the Patriots, playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
Came short, were able to beat the Bengals, Super Bowl team. I just think, even like stepping away from the teams in general, just looking at the teams that the Steelers have faced, they've had a much tougher schedule here in the first couple of games. And for me personally, I think that they should be able to handle the Browns, because the Browns, they lost to the Jets and they struggled against the Panthers. So, I mean, for me, it's just, I don't know. Pittsburgh seems like a more complete, more competitive team at this point in time.
In Cleveland, I still got to give the edge to the Browns. I hope Roundy the Elf is not really a curse. He might be. Like, if it really comes down to, is Jacoby Brissett going to look like week 1 Jacoby Brissett or week 2 Jacoby Brissett?
That's fair.
I don't think he's going to look like week 2 Jacoby Brissett, but I think he's going to look better than week 1. He's going to be at that nice little sweet spot, maybe a week 1.5, because that's definitely how that works.
Yeah, well, I also just think, when you look at the offense, even though the Pittsburgh Steelers don't really have an ideal O-line situation right now, it's a really big struggle. You've got playmakers. You've got their rookie Pickens, who's tearing it up. You've got
Claypool.
Najee Harris, even without an O-line, is going to make noise. Mm-hmm. And so I just feel at the end of the day, even though it's a slug match, I feel like when it comes to big-time plays, Pittsburgh is going to have more than Cleveland will. Amari Cooper's great.
Absolutely.
Jacoby Brissett
he's there. He's a quarterback.
He's there. he exists. But for the most part, who are your guys? Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. And even though I really like their offense with them and how they can run the ball pretty much down anyone's throat, you can't really win a game in the NFL today just, having your QB hand off every other play. You really need to have a playmaker there. And when it comes to Jacoby Brissett versus Mitch Trubisky, I'd put my money on Mitch Trubisky.
The only time handing the ball off every other play works is when you're Mac Jones playing Buffalo, or when you're Jimmy Garoppolo playing the Packers.
Pretty much.
those are the two types of works.
And to be fair, both teams, I think it's not going to be just an easy cakewalk to run the ball. Even with both of them having pass rushers out, you still got Cameron Hayward's going to be in.
Mhm.
You still got Myles Garrett in. It's not going to be easy peasy for these guys to be able to get their yardage. They're going to have to fight for it this week.
And, every time these teams meet, tempers flare just a little bit. Games get chippy, so we should see.
It should be a close game.
It should be a close game. Whoever wins will have earned it. They'll have had to fight for it.
Yeah, but for me, gotta give the edge to Social.
All right, I guess we'll see Thursday night how this all breaks down. Let us know if you agree, disagree with either of us, and
your reasons why.
your reasons why. And we'll see you next week.
Peace.